Sean Sewell with Engearment.com. Today's video comparison, we're going to do a really thorough comparison between 10 different active insulation layers for 2023 and some that might be coming out in the near future. It'll be a lot of fun, so grab a coffee or tea and let's get into it. First and foremost, we'll start with sizing for reference. I am 6'1", 210 pounds, 45-inch chest, 33-inch waist, 36, 37 in the arms. This is how my body looks. This is a extra large t-shirt and pants are 33-inch waist. My torso is about 19.5, maybe 20 inches on a really good day. My posture is great. All the jackets we're going to test, you can see this big stack right here, just out of camera view, are size extra large except for 2, and I will note those. And I might as well just start with the first one, which is a size large. And the key of this review is to show you each jacket, how they fit in a comparison situation, and then for more detailed reference, I have extensive experience with each jacket. We have written and or video reviews on every one of these jackets, and I'll link to each one of those below. So if there's something I missed, and I guarantee there'll be plenty I miss, you can always refer to the detailed video reviews on those. First up is one of my favorites, Outdoor Research Shadow Jacket. This is a size large, although it fits me really well. Has Vertical X Echo SR synthetic active insulation. We're made of Repreve materials in the insulation. As you can tell, with the size large, it is a pretty trim fit. The extra large probably would have fit me better, but has not stopped me from using this for a full season as a base or a mid layer for backcountry splitboarding and hiking and stuff like that. You get some of my favorite features. You get fuzzy hand pockets right here, just like with the Outdoor Research Hemisphere, which I gave high regards to in the down jacket comparison. Fuzzy hand pockets is just a nice little feature right there. You get a nice stretchy material right here. It is 20 denier. There's 60 grams of their insulation in here. The hood is great. A nice coverage hood, adjustable in the rear, nice height as well. And then on the inside, you actually get drop pockets. It's one of the very few active insulation jackets I've ever seen with drop pockets. So that is, I love drop pockets. That wins for me right there. While I have this here, I'm going to use it as comparison for a jacket which I gave away. It is the Kuhl jacket. It looks a lot like this. In fact, the color we have is a lot like this. Luke Cunningham, our bow hunter, has that jacket. That one features Torae's synthetic insulation. It's called 3D FX Plus, which will come into play in several different jackets up here real soon. And it has 60 grams of insulation and goes for a price of $260. This Outdoor Research Shadow is $219. $219 actually being on the lower end of some of the synthetic jackets we're testing in this comparison. All right, up next is Outdoor Vitals. This is the lightest jacket in the group. This is the Vario. The Vario features the 3D EFX from Torae, like I kind of just mentioned with the Kuhl, and it has a lot going on and is very lightweight, about 11 ounces for this men's extra large. Here it is. So it is great. It does have hand pockets. They're nice and low. Yep, a dog poop bag right there. The fit is great. It's a very streamlined fit. This is a men's extra large. Like I mentioned, it has these perforated holes right here, so you get active insulation for the jacket and active venting. It's not a pit zip. You cannot turn it off. So, like I noted in the review for it, if you're up on a mountain ridge and wind comes through, you will feel it coming through. And speaking of wind, almost all these jackets are going to be air permeable, meaning strong winds will permeate it, and that's not a downside. These are active insulation. This is not warm insulation like down or synthetic puffy insulation. This is meant to be used while you're doing something active. Hiking, skiing, biking, stuff like that. So it's not a downside, it's just how it works to dump heat. As you can see, the hood is very, very low. No coverage, so this is definitely going to be a piece you would use with other layers, especially in cold weather. and it is lighter. I don't know how many grams. I would guess 40 grams as compared to 60 for most of these other jackets. So that is the Outdoor Vitals Vario. It is $210, being even more cost efficient than the Outdoor Research. However, the Outdoor Research has more insulation, drop pockets, fuzzy hand pockets, stuff like that, and a better hood in my opinion. Up next is a company that you might not know about, but I did a review on this. This is the Goldwin Pertex Air, Quantum Air, I should say, jacket. And you can see it's wrinkled because it actually lives in my split boarding backpack most of the season. It's that good. So this features Primaloft Black Echo insulation and a lot of stretch. This is a men's extra large. As you can tell, it's got a nice drop hem to it right there. Arm length is good. The hood is fantastic. Great coverage on the hood. Adjustable in the rear. And the hand pockets are up a bit higher, so it will place nicely with a backpack strap, which is why I use it for split boarding. I'll often start the tour, early morning tour with this, and then dump it, I don't know, 45 minutes, maybe an hour into the tour. But that stretch is great. It's just comfortable to be in. And this is gonna be a big claim right here, but this has taken place of my Patagonia Nano Air for this season. We met with Patagonia a month ago. There's a new Nano Air coming out, which we'll have in about 2 weeks to test out. Comes out in the fall, and I think it will probably usurp this. But until then, this guy is pretty flippin' awesome. Plus, he's got 2 zippers, so this is great for you climbers. He's also one of the more expensive. He's $300 US. And it is zippers on the other side. If you're in the US, just get used to it. A lot of European and other companies outside of America do that. They just put them there aside. Okay, up next is the one that most people probably will say is the best, for a lot of reasons. This is the Arcteryx Atom LT jacket. I've had the hoodie. You probably have the hoodie. It's incredible. It's super comfortable out of the box. The aesthetics are second to none. The fit is perfect. It has 60 grams of their proprietary Core-Lock insulation. It has fuzzy hand pockets, at least on half of the pocket right there. This half no, this half yes. Plays nicely with backpack straps. 2080 denier proprietary material that is air permeable. Does a good job blocking the wind, but it is going to let a lot of air out, which is great for active insulation. You even get extra fleece right here to dump the heat out. Passive system right there. The cuffs are awesome, nice and elastic. This is the jacket version, and I absolutely love it. It's great for casual use, as well as going right into the mountains or right into the outdoor activities. It's fantastic. You got a drop hem in the back. Just a great fit. Again, this is a men's extra large. I really can't find a better fitting jacket. Of the 10 jackets here, this is probably the most aesthetically pleasing, as well as functional, and it is one of the more pricey. $280 US for this guy right here. They claim it's an athletic fit, and as you can kind of tell, I am somewhat athletic build. All right, this one we just did a review on, and this enters a newer category that has insulation that is not like the other insulations in here. The previous insulations had a layer of clothing or cloth insulation, another layer of cloth. This has a outer layer, and then it goes right into the insulation. As you can see right here, it's this kind of octaspun, I think they call it Aero Knit, and this brand for Kuhl. And what that does is that's one less layer to go through to get the heat out, and also is pretty fuzzy and comfortable against your skin. I'm not too sure in the denier of the material. I would want to guess more like a 30 denier, so a little more robust than the previous ones. High pile fleece, Aero Knit, what they call that, and micro with a K, air stretch material. Again, it's gonna be air permeable. Good insulation. It's very fuzzy. What I've noticed with that kind of insulation though is it doesn't slide as smoothly over layers as the sealed insulation, layer, insulation, layer. With the fleece exposed, it feels good against the bare skin, sure. It feels good and cozy. It doesn't slide as efficiently as other layers do, but it also can directly affect positively the air permeability and dumping of heat. I don't have a direct CFM on this, but I've done a lot of hikes in it and took it to the gym to train in. It's been very fantastic. Kuhl, as you probably know, the shirt I'm wearing below is a Kuhl shirt. We've done a lot of reviews with Kuhl. I just had a camera review. It's 2 Kuhl backpacks in a duffel bag. Kuhl boxers on. I'm not going to show you. Don't worry. Half my pants are Kuhl boxer or Kuhl pants or Kuyu pants. Those are my 2 favorite pants for the last couple of years. They just stretch. They work. They work for athletic people, and they look good. This is a great aesthetic, right? This is a nice looking jacket. It is good looking, still functional. The other jackets in this category are more functional, I think. They're also more expensive. Here's the hood. Again, low hood, nothing crazy going on there. Adjustable in the rear right there, so you can cinch it up. But a very good casual / functional mountain life looking jacket right there. And if price is a concern, this is the winner. He's $179 US, being less than the Outdoor Research Shadow and the Outdoor Vitals. All right, now we're getting into what I think is probably the future of active insulation, at least this category I'm going to show you next. Taking the best of both worlds, using the high output fleece with active insulation. You can see here, this is the Patagonia Nano Air Light Hybrid. I love this jacket. I've got 2 separate reviews on this. There's the R1 Air backer right there, and then you go into the full range insulation right there, which I do think is made by Toray, the 3D EFX, whatever, but I cannot confirm that. But from my experience testing it, it kind of feels like it is, which is great, because that's a great insulation. This jacket is revolutionary, and it's setting a trend in a very good way for active insulation. What I mean by that is, if you are active, which is probably why you're looking at the active insulation review here, you want on the front side, if you're biking, hiking, running, skiing, touring, splitboarding, whatever you're doing, you want some wind blocking and you want some insulation up front, right? So we get that with this design. But then you want dump heat. So all under the arms and all through the back, you get even more breathable R1 Air, or whatever fleece other companies want to call it, to dump heat. And that plays nicely with the backpack on. Or I don't know about you, but my back sweats before my front sweats when I'm being very active, even without a backpack. So that makes this a really, really good design. And it shows, because there's other companies, and I'll show you in a minute, they're doing stuff similar to this, and I really think that's a great idea. A hybrid of active insulation with really breathable materials in the rear. It's a win-win. This jacket, again, I've ranted and raved about it. Used it for 10 months now, just came out this fall. The hood is very good. Look at that coverage. It's so good. This is the kind of coverage I like for alpine use. Right there. Not adjustable, just a scuba style hood. And I've used this over a hat, over a beanie. So many times touring, it's just been my favorite. It's super good. So this came out in the fall, and I think it's revolutionary. I think this one for active use might be the winner in my opinion. And it's based off of the tried and true Nano Air. As you can tell, this is the 1st generation. I've had the 2nd generation, 3rd generation, and I'm only bringing this guy in because he deserves some attention, because he is, let's credit this with being like the founder of active insulation. It's still super comfortable. I've washed this thing probably 40 times. It's still holding up. Again, this is the original one. I'm just showing you because here in a couple of weeks we will have the new version of it, and it will look a lot like this. We had an interview with Corey Simpson a month and a half ago on top of Patagonia downtown Denver, and of all the things that are coming out with, a lot of cool stuff. The Nano Air, the new version, was my favorite because it goes back to 2 pockets. So in the future we'll have 2 pockets as opposed to just 1 pocket. It'll have 60 grams of insulation, just like the original. Right here it does. The fit and function, I don't know the fit yet. I'm guessing similar fit, but I'll have a review on that when it comes in. Like I said, here in a few weeks. The Nano Air is just so good. You can find them on sale. It's good. Nano Air and Atom LT, just hard to beat. Until you get to the Marmot. Marmot sent over this. This is the Marmot Alt HB jacket, and it much like the Outdoor Vitals and Outdoor Research, this is going to be a nice active insulation piece. The fit is really good, sizable hand pockets, good trim, a little bit of a drop hem, fantastic arm length. I think this actually is the most comfortable of a 10 I'm doing right here. and it features their technology. And I should say that their insulation looks a lot like, in a lot of ways, the Octa insulation from the Mountain Hardwear Core Air, which we gave away, otherwise it'd be in this review, but it has that exposed kind of insulation. So you get the shell right here, and then you get the insulation kind of exposed, as opposed to having a second layer of this material blocking the way. So what that does is, you know, like I mentioned with the Kuhl The One, is this one less layer to try and dissipate heat through. But with this one, since it's not so many of those Octa fibers being exposed to your direct skin, it does slide over layers a little bit nicer. The fit, I love the fit, like I mentioned. Hood is good coverage. Non-adjustable rear, just typical scuba hood. But this one I've used for a lot of hikes and for splitboarding. I don't think it has as much insulation as most of the other ones. I would guess more around the 40 gram range, so it puts it up there with the Outdoor Vitals Vario. And the price is very similar, $175 US. 50 CFM on the material too. Most of these are gonna have that 40 to 50 CFM breathability, which is gonna allow you to dissipate the heat and feel regulated in the cool to cold weather activities. This one makes a list because it just came in. This is Artilect Studios, the Intersect Double Weave. This reminds me a lot of a Patagonia R2. Now, I don't typically tour an R2. I have an R1, the Patagonia R1. Aaron Rose loves the R2 for touring, and it's kind of like in this active installation. He is more hardcore splitboard than I am, and he's a goat, 3,000 a day, no problem vertical. So I'm including this guy because he's designed for that high output activities. He's a fleece, kind of that kind of design, but it's got some cool technology going on. This GTT, as they call it, permanent eco-friendly DWR. So you don't have to reapply anything. It's always built in to this jacket. And honestly, I've had this for a couple weeks, and I can smell what I assume is that permanent DWR. It will dissipate once I apply some of my own BO to it. But the coverage is great. You get these nice elastic cuffs, so you can be nice and wide to go over a gauntlet style glove, or sorry, over the cuff glove, and then you can tighten it up to do gauntlet style or more casual use. You do get a zippered pocket up top, which is very sizable. Will handle your phone and what have you. Sizable hand pockets, and on the inside you can see that membrane, much like the R2 right there. The hood is nice. I'll show you the hood real quick. And the hood is adjustable as well, like the coverage right here. And then adjustable right there in the rear. One jacket that I have used quite a bit, but I actually destroyed while camping on accident, was a North Face Casaval hoodie from their cement line. And that comes in at $300 US, and it's a lot like the Nano Air or the Goldwin Pertex. It is probably my favorite fitting. I wish I could show it to you. I do have a detailed review, which I'll put below on it. It's a great jacket, really good breathability, good at touring. We actually met with North Face and toured up with some of their athletes. Had a great time. We tested that out with some bibs and some other jackets. We have reviews on all that stuff for North Face. Sorry I don't have any more. I literally caught it on a piece of metal when I was camping, and it just shredded. And it was it's a sad day. Now I'm going to tease the hell out of you. So we've gone through 10 really awesome active installation garments that are currently available as of spring 2023. Doesn't mean there's not more to come. Here in the fall of 2023, there will be the new Nano Air from Patagonia, which I teased you with. There's also something new from Outdoor Research, this guy right here, and he uses that kind of Octa yarn right here. It's called a Deviator. So stay tuned for him, and also kind of like the Patagonia I mentioned, active insulation in the front and a little bit of that fleece in the back. So there's 11. You came for 10 and you got 11. Hopefully seeing the sizing, hand pockets, layouts, hoods, the weights, the colors, the drop hems, hopefully seeing all that is very helpful. If it was, a thumbs up would be appreciated. I will do another comparison up here soon of synthetic static jackets, you know, puffy jackets that have synthetic insulation made for cold weather, belaying, winter camping, stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. We have 4 new riders, 2 of which are going to Denali. So we have a lot of review on some really badass gear from MSR, Thermarest, Gregory, a big list after research of gear going to Denali. Jay Irwin and Derek Toshner are going up there. Separate missions too, so stay tuned for a lot of coverage from them. Got a lot more coming up. I'm gonna have a lot of videos to shoot here, a lot of cool gear. So if you wanna see that content, consider subscribing to our Engearment YouTube channel. Thank you for all your support. If you like what you see, appreciate it. We also have an Engearment store below if you want to get a cool double wall insulated water bottle, stickers, hat, beanie, all the stuff we wear when we're out there doing the stuff, we now have available to you in a shop below. I'm Sean Sewell, owner, director of Stoke for Engearment.com. Until next time, take care.